Welcome back to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're honored to be with our next guest and we get to talk productivity. So we're going to help you become more productive. We are joined by Paris Love, the drill sergeant of productivity with Paris Love Productivity Institute. So Paris, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jeremy?
Doing very well. So you are indeed a drill sergeant, and let's start with a little bit of your story, including being a veteran. So share a little bit of your story, especially when it comes to how you fell in love with organizing and productivity and helping others be more organized and productive as well.
Yes. So I am the drill sergeant of productivity. I am ex-Army veteran. I was a sergeant, but never a drill sergeant, but everyone calls me the drill sergeant. Even in basic, the drill sergeants would mess up my wall locker. They're like, you have got to be kidding me. I'm like, what? You wanted us to roll our underwear and fold our t-shirts a certain way? I don't get it. And so kind of fast forward, I have a special needs son. And when my son was in the doctor, I was organizing the doctor's bookcase. And he said, usually people don't come to my office and organize my bookcase. And I was like, well, my friends like when I come over. And he said, you have obsessive compulsive disorder, which is one of the things my son has. And I'm like, that's what's wrong with him. It's my fault. And so I started doing more research in OCD. And I discovered the National Association of Professional Organizers. So I was like, So I'm not weird because there are other people like me. And then the light bulb went off. Like, wait, they actually get paid to do this? And 17 and a half years ago, I started my business. I started in Georgia, then moved to Alabama. And then 4 years ago, I moved to Tennessee. And my clients always say, you must be in that zone. What zone is that? Because I walk in and I'm like, oh, let me add it. And they're like, yeah, okay, I'll be back.
So when you are walking in, and just like you said to your doctor's office, and you're looking at things, give us a little bit of how your mind works in terms of, are you automatically like looking at things in terms of colors or structure, or, like you said, rolling your underwear, like where does your mind automatically go in terms of how the room or the feeling or like how it needs to be structured and organized? So where do you like to look and go first?
Okay. So when you see it, not you in particular, but when people see it, they see the big picture and it's overwhelming. And you just have to take it like in bite-sized pieces. When I look at it, and I'm going to give you a visual. If anyone's seen the Netflix Queen of Gambit, where she's playing chess and she's lying in bed and she's moving the pieces, that's kind of how I do it. When I walk in a room and I see it, I'm like, okay, yeah, we need to move that there. That'd be a container for that. Oh, that'd be nice. Oh, we should do this, move the furniture. It'd be nice to paint the walls. So in my mind, I see the end product. When other people see it, they see, like, I'm going to close the door. Or it's like, I don't even know where to start because it's so much. And I'm like, oh, it's so easy. Bite-sized pieces. So here's another visual for you. I'm right-handed. So most people are right-handed. So when I look in the area, I go to my left. But if you're handed, maybe you want to go to the right. So it kind of depends. And it's just, let's do this area. Okay, let's finish. Let's do this area. Let's finish. So you just take it in sections. And before you know it, it's done.
Kick in, because it glitched on me a little bit when you said you go to your left. So just restate that part again, and I'll edit this in. But just say, when most people walk in, I'm right-handed. When I go with my left. So re-say that again.
Okay. So when I do a room, I'm right-handed. So I go to my left. I start in the left and work my way around. If you're left-handed, maybe you want to go to the right. But it's going this section, finish, this section, finish. So by the time you walk around the room, you're done and everything's organized. So it's like bite-sized pieces.
Give us a little bit of a teaser for the different things you do, because you cover a lot of ground. It's not just the organization like we're talking about. It's time management. There is one-on-one coaching. There's group coaching. You have all sorts of curriculum and lesson plans. So walk us through what you do.
All right. So watch this. We're family. We're just going to lean back here and get comfortable. I don't have a couch. What I discovered, my background is in psychology. It's not about the clutter. It's about something else. And I'm good at getting to what that something else is. There's a reason why we collect things. It's a reason why we go, you know, I've had a hard day and I deserve to get this. Not that you don't deserve it, but you kind of have to look at what are the triggers that are triggering you to accumulate things. And so a lot of what I do is, you know, I tell people I do therapy on Thursdays because my clients say, I can't tell anybody else this but you. I'm like, oh, what is it? And so a lot of things come up. So I'm doing the one-on-one coaching, trying to get you from point A to point B and not going back to point A. So since we family here, a lot of times people go, well, I can do that. I got it. And with the pandemic, what happened? People were at home going, now I can go down my list. I can get organized. I can do this. We're a year into it. And I'm like, oh, okay. How'd that work out? Paris, what happened was about all this stuff, I got organized and I'm right back to where I was because you never address the root cause of it. So for my business owners, one thing that a lot of people say, I don't have time. And I'm like, oh, because we all get 168 hours in a week. You can't get more time. You can make more money, but you can never make more time. And they said, Paris, you just don't understand. I'm like really busy. Look at my schedule. It's jam-packed. And I let them finish. And I just asked, so what are you running away from? And they're like, because it's that thought-provoking aha moment to go, yeah, on a deep level, I am running away from something. There's a reason why I'm busy and not productive, because there's a difference. Ants are busy, but are you really being productive? Statistics say that in an 8.8-hour day, workers only are productive less than 3 hours. So what are you doing for the rest of the time, I wonder?
So what are the questions that you like to ask to figure out what are you doing with the rest of that time? So how do you go about figuring out what those gaps are?
So what I do, I'm a pen and paper girl. Love technology, but I like to write it down. It's something about getting out of here and writing it down. And I tell them, take me through a typical day. And I know that every day is going to be different. No 2 days are going to be the same. But from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, what are you doing? So they give me a typical day. And then we may go throughout the week and they give me the week. Once it's on paper, we can go, okay, do you have any time wasters? How much time are you spending on social media? Everybody's on Zoom or some platform of Zoom. How much time are you spending on those platforms? And they're like, oh, how much time are you spending on self-care? Well, what's that? What's self-care? How much time are you spending with your family? You know, I haven't seen my son in 3 days and we live together. I haven't seen my spouse. When was the last time I seen my spouse? So starting to look at that, and it's interesting. We live what we learn. So this was an interesting thing that I found in discovering all of this. Like millennials, people go, oh my God, you know, those millennials, they are something else. But take a page from their playbook. Millennials are saying, you can pay me $200,000 a year. I'm going to work 180 out of 168 hours. You know what? No, thank you. I want to enjoy my life now. I want to travel. I want to have experiences. My generation, we were taught, go to college, get a zillion degrees, work the same job for 50 years. Then when you retire, you can enjoy life. Millennials are like, and they see parents working and being busy. And as a parent, you're working so that they have opportunities that maybe you didn't. But what the child sees is making money is hard. I never get to see my family. And that's what they see. And at some point, it's a generational thing, and someone has to say, I know that's how we used to do it, but we're not going to do that anymore. So really doing a deep dive in what's currently happening. How do you see your ideal life? This is your ideal life. Okay, you want to get up at 7, you want to work out, you want to go have breakfast, okay. And I write it down, they write it down, and then I might call. So Jeremy, today is Wednesday at 3 o'clock. What are you doing? Oh, well, Paris, Jeremy, on your list, you said that you were going to do, and they're like, and that's where the drill sergeant comes in, like, this is what you said.
Holding people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
How do you tackle procrastination? I know this is a big one for you as well. So talk about procrastination.
We don't say the P word, Jeremy. I probably should have told you. We don't say the P word. We don't. So procrastination, like I'm getting like, you have to do the item anyway, right? So what's holding you back from accomplishing that? Several things. In your mind, you paint a picture. It's going to take me forever to do this thing. Or you're like, you know what? I really don't like, I have to write a proposal. I hate writing proposals. I got to think about it. I got to research it. It's all this. That's what you formed in your mind. That's the story that you told yourself. So I'm gonna give an example because we're in tax season. April 15th, every year, it hasn't changed. It's always April 15th, right? And people go, oh, I'm still trying to do my taxes from 2017. I had a business owner, and it had been 3 years since she had done her taxes because she kept in her mind, it's going to take me forever. I got to get the receipts. I got to do this. I said, you know what? Let's just take a day and let's work on it. Get everything you need. In her mind, she's like, it's going to take like a week. I haven't done this in like years. It took her half a day. But she formed in her mind, and a lot of times when we procrastinate, we tell ourselves a story. Does that story really hold true? 10 out of 10 times it does not. And you have to do the item anyways, or the activity. So eat the frog and do it.
What, when it comes to this sort of advice, what are some of the next steps? Because when you talk about you as a coach, you have the one-on-one, you have the group classes. What are some ways that we can start engaging and obviously, glean this insight? So how can we take advantage of all your offerings?
So I offer, I have a Facebook group, which is Get Organized and Clutter Free in 30 Days or Less. So it's really tackling each area of your home. And it's like 1 week at a time. This is day 1, day 2. So a lot of people join the group, get the support that they need, because there's no judgment. And then they say, I did everything, but I don't really think that I've gotten to the root of the problem. Because by the time they get to day 30, they look back and go, okay, I see those habits are starting to come back. So I really need to get to the root of the problem. So they reach out to parents. I need to have that one-on-one with you because we need to get to the root of the problem. And I will say that organizing habits occur over time. Consistency is key. I hope y'all catching these nuggets. It's so easy to say, you know what? It's been a rough day. I get to that later. I'm going to challenge you. When you look at a calendar, you have January through December, Sunday through Saturday, and depending on the month, 28, 90, 30, or 31 days. Anywhere on that calendar do you see someday or one day? Yeah. I'm going to wait. Do you see that, Jeremy? Do you ever see, you know why you don't see it? Because it does not exist. So it's changing our words too. Rather than say, I get to that one day, I don't have time right now. Oh, I feel tired. You might feel tired, but it's so much easier to do it now rather than put it off. Because if you put it off, it's just going to pile up. And then when it piles up, it's going to get overwhelming. And when we are overwhelmed, we do nothing.
Well, like you said, so much of it is removing the mind trash, the mental narrative that you tell yourself and you start believing, when the reality, back to your point with the lady in the taxes, like it took a half day. So it wasn't going to take a full week. It's like when you focus in and you focus on getting the job done, then you can get the job done. And then you realize after, it's like, that wasn't so bad. I can do this. So then that builds the confidence. Wrap up on your end with contact information and just where do we go to start taking advantage of it?
So my website is www.parisloveproductivityinstitute.com. I'm also on all social media platforms as Paris Love Organizing Guru.
Well, Paris, definitely appreciate your insight. Appreciate you being a part of the show. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.